try to be true, but it just feels like a game to you. Wafanya penzi hiyo mchezo, vile wanicheza, nisi uwanja wa mchezo. Mbona wanicheza, wafanya penzi hiyo mchezo, oh, vile wanicheza, misi uwanja wa mchezo. Mbona wanicheza.
Hujawahi ona mwingine na macho, akina nani wanakujaza mawazo, tukisonga wanaturudisha mwanzo. Baby, siwezi kucheza, 'cause I'm all in, falling for you. Even when they callin', nakata 'cause I'm loyal. Why you walking out the door knowing I adore you? Baby, siwezi kucheza. Haya mapenzi si mchezo, siwezi kucheza. Usiuacha wa mchezo, siwezi kucheza. Haya mapenzi si mchezo, siwezi kucheza. Usiuacha wa mchezo, siwezi kucheza.
Wafanya penzi hiyo mchezo,
siwezi kucheza.
misi uwanja wa mchezo.
Siwezi kucheza. Haya mapenzi si mchezo, siwezi kucheza.
Misi uwanja wa mchezo,
siwezi kucheza.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa Radio.
I'm in control, and my feelings out of hold. Put me on fire, listen close, give me attention. I decompose, I've been on time setting up. Put me on fire, and if it shows, put me in my place. Holding on, not to see God. Holding on for nothing. Sores in my mouth from bleed tears. You got to see my every piece and my missing piece, my broken pieces. On the floor, buzz it out, it ended up being my fault and reason. Never saw it coming from the wrong box. Hated every part of the game, but your love was keeping me sane. 6 months of fake love strays. Admit it, you never tried to care about my feelings. Stories change again and again. I quit when I asked you, acted like it was never the case. Oh, I should've known. Why did we leave so much in store? Energy, so much growth. You didn't believe in us. Oh, 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 why didn't I leave it all
from sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Happy new week. We made it to another week. We are officially in May. So I don't know if that means something. My name is Muthoni Gitau and you're listening to She Talks on Power Radio. We're usually live on here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm excited for today's show. I think I say that about every show. And then immediately after my excitement, I get angry. I rant. And then we go back to excitement and then talk about something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's the human experience. It is what it is. And we are here for it. So I am excited for today's show. However, am not excited for the weather outside. Let me tell you. This is the Mondayest Monday that has ever Mondayed, ever. It is so Monday. Why are you like this? Okay, maybe it's because I had a very hype weekend. I was busy. So it could be that. But at the same time, you have to be so dull. Why is it that the beginning of the week is so dull? The beginning of the week should be giving us the vibes for the rest of the week. I think we need we need to talk to whoever designed the weeks, the days, the designer, to Mwambia, please make sure every Monday, the least you can do is one, give us sun. It's bare minimum. We're not even asking for much. Just give us some sun, some cool vibes. We get into the week, most. But you can't just skuma us like that. It's not good, by the way. Me, I don't like it. This weather is giving, I should be in bed all day and I should only get out of bed to do two things. Use the toilet and eat. Since I don't exactly eat, let's say drink uji, because I do. Eating, listen, people see me putting food in my mouth and they go like, congratulations, you're eating. So yeah, for food /uji /tea, because also when it's cold, we drink a lot of tea. And maybe a really good, not even it's not a work from home type day. It's a do nothing type of day. Oh God, I love do nothing type days. I need to get me a do nothing type of day very, very soon, because my do nothing day was supposed to be the 1st of May because it was a public holiday last week. But I wasn't able to do nothing because I was doing things. So I feel like I'm owed a do nothing day, You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we have a great show ahead of us. To start us off today, we were listening to Wanja Mchezo by Leleika, which is off her latest album, Pieces of Me. And after that, we were listening to Skin by Zoe Kengoche. For now, here is Rubinina with No Air.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Yeah, you ain't really know what you got to school. Tell me why you. Yeah. Tell me why you. Tell me why you did it. That's what she said. Tell me who you texting all this freaky stuff to while I lie alone cold in a bed. Cold alone in the bed. Tell me who is this that you wanna get with at the very first chance that you get. First chance that you get. You ain't really slick. Tell me who that bitch. You ain't worth shit. Nigga, I can tell that you hit. Is this what you call work? Is this what your family worth? Lil Bobby ain't 3 months old and you never in the city and you never really with me. All you really do is get thrown in the eve. Come home lit, you don't care about the kids. Your mama and your papa don't care if I live. Let things slide too hard to forgive. Well, my friends all said, and now I know it's true. And I should have seen it. I ignored the proof. If I went back, Lord knows that I wouldn't choose. Cause I was like a trophy. Nowadays, all you do is play your silly games, and I'm the one to lose.
You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no water? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby, you gon' feel what it's like to lose. You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no water? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby, show. We was always popping with the new things. You was so fly, you were my boo thing. Now you switching up on me, you don't look the same. How are we to ride if you ain't got no game? Most of the time, you're out to complain. Then you ask why things ain't the same. Your hair ain't done, your nails ain't done. If I'm the one, then why don't you try harder, baby?
Try hard.
Feels like I ain't your lover lately. Baby, 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 baby.
You can't be serious, you can't be serious. You so delirious, you got me curious. When did it all turn around? When was the day that we drowned? You had me head first in the clouds. Now I'm falling head first to the ground.
You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well? How you when there ain't no one? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby you gon' feel what it's like to lose. You don't know what you got, not until it's over. How you gon' get well when there ain't no one? So if you can't see how good I am to you, then baby you gon' feel how it feels to breathe with no air, no air, no air, no air, no air, oh yeah. How it feels to breathe with no air, no air, no air, no air, no air, oh darling. How it feels to breathe with no air.
Yeah.
Niggas gon' be niggas. Well, I suppose ring don't change what you really know.
Tell me what you know, tell me what you know.
Tell me what you know.
Tell me what you know, tell me what you know.
Tell me what you know. Niggas gon' be niggas. Well, I suppose if you wanna change what you know. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Ruby Nina with No Air. Let's get into the threads today because after a long weekend, it wasn't a long weekend. After a weekend, there's always shenanigans. After a very short weekend, for most, my producer had a short weekend. Me, I had a no weekend. As in, at this point, weekends are just a suggestion in our calendars. That's it. There's a lot that's been happening. So let's get into the threads. I came across a couple of things that I was curious about, and I looked into them, and then I was disappointed. And then, it's always a rabbit hole. It's always a rabbit hole when it comes to this bad app. Nowadays, but can we still call it the bad app now that it's just a letter app? So do we call it the letter app? Random thought. Anyway, the Ministry of Health is out here trying to threaten doctors again. By the way, we're still, the strike is not over. As much as there's a lot of stuff that's been happening that may make it seem like, oh yeah, doctors went back to work and we're good. Still not the case. Even with the floodings, even with everything that's happening, these people are still thinking about covering their own behinds, okay? So the Ministry of Health, they had... I think I said this last week and I'll say it. We are overrepresented. I don't know what our hopes is. HOPS, head of something, I guess. I don't know the something, but someone from the from the Ministry of Health was out here talking about the fact that they're going to use the 2.4 billion that was meant for the interns, and they are going to channel that into quote unquote pressing priorities if the doctors keep delaying. And I was just like, what's more pressing than a country that does not have doctors? What is the other priority that you think is priority than hospitals not having doctors in this country? I don't understand it. What could be more of a priority than that, given the fact that, one, we're still experiencing floods. Two, with the floodings, we know what comes next. There's going to be waterborne diseases people are going to get sick. That it's a given. It happens. It's a pattern. At this point, it's expected. But we still don't have doctors in hospitals, right? They sat down and took money. I mean the government, was out here putting together budgets and whatever for other things. Even someone had the audacity to come and tell us, oh my God, you guys, guess what we should do? We should buy the president a new jet. Like, but we don't have money for doctors. Ya jet tutapata. But ya madaktari, itoke wapi? And these guys, by the way, you know what? They went and signed and agreed to the 70K versus the 200,000 shillings. And now then that means, like now for sure, these interns are not going to take these jobs and the doctors are not going to come back. And then someone's like, mchukue kitu tunawapatia ama tutaipeleka mali pengine. They're already not coming to work. Like, it's not a threat. If they've already said what you're offering is too little, and then you go like, you guys, if you don't take this kidogo, it's like they want you to feel some type of, if you don't take this kidogo, we won't give you anything. They're like, yeah, we're already not receiving that much. So we don't understand. It's like, is there a threat in the room with us? That is the question. So, Ministry of Health. I'm like, hey, if there's a ministry right now that has like a lot of shenanigans, where? It has to be the Ministry of Health. Kuna mambo. Hey, sijui mara fake degrees. There's someone who said, we live in a country where people with like doctorates and stuff are being offered like 70K for payments. Like you want to offer like a surgeon 70,000 shillings, and then an uneducated person is getting paid like 700,000 shillings. And there's just like, it just doesn't add up. Because education is the key. Clearly, we missed something in that memo. There must have been something maybe it's like fake degrees is the key to success. Yay. But also in Kenya, corruption is the key. Everything else is a suggestion. Speaking of floods, the flooding we're still experiencing floods. Now here there's even like a cyclone in TZ that was expected to sort of hit Mombasa because we share an ocean. And yeah, so apparently it's not been raining at the coast. The Kenyan coast hasn't actually been raining. Those guys have been experiencing sun. So kusitko like, but according to the weather people, they're like, it's inakuja iko tu mahali na hapa. And there's someone who pointed out the fact that the government knows that this might happen. They've been told, but it seems like people are not being warned and being told. So even with the whole cyclone thing, I'm like, tell people what they need to do. Like, people should be getting ready and preparing just in case, because even if it, sazile tuwakwanga like, maybe haitafika hapa. What if it fikas? Then what? You want to start figuring things out when you're in the midst of the thing? No. If it's possible to do things ahead of time, let's do it. Because the reason we're in this situation to begin with is the government was warned months prior that we're going to experience this, and then wakapuuza. Now here we are. People have died. And there's someone who actually pointed out that by Saturday, over 219 people, 219, that's a lot of people. Me, I'm like, if you put me in a room with 200 people, that's a lot of people. Nitaanza ku experience some social anxiety kidogo. And nitakuwa tu like, sometimes when I'm in a room full of people, I always go like, wow, there's so many people here. So I'd be in my head like that. 219 people, that's way too many people, especially for something that was expected. This was not a surprise. It had been predicted that it was going to happen. That's the disappointing part. An additional 164 people have been reported to be injured, and 72 people are still missing. And all this is because of the rains, the flooding and the heavy rainfall, the thunderstorms and all the things. And that's all as of Saturday. So I'm like, how many people is enough for the government to be like, oof, maybe let's do something? That's always my question. Because I'm like, for me, even one person is one people too much, Back to, let me tell you, the shenanigans. These shenanigans they always involve the government. Let's listen to Kinoti, and then I'll be right back. We continue with the threads. It's a lot, guys. Pole, it's a lot though.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
love for you will forever stay the same. Nikiwa kando yako, I'm miles away. We'll be okay, and I promise that soon I'll be here to stay. We'll break down, 'cause it'll be some time before tushikane mikono. And I won't see you often, na siyo kupenda kwangu, ni mipango ya Mungu. But I promise that soon I'll be here to stay. If it's your love, I'm prepared to wait. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Nitangoja, na sitachoka. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Na sitachoka. Sitachoka mama, mama. Sitachoka. Nitakungoja wewe. Oh, sitachoka. Sitachoka mama, yeah, yeah. No matter where you are, nitangoja. Na sitachoka.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Kinoti with Nitangoja. I wanted to touch on a bit on the story that has been happening, or something that's been happening the last couple of days, which basically is the eviction of people in Mukuru. And what's been happening is basically the government has been bulldozing houses that have been built too close to the river. So there's a claim. Someone posted online, the Mukuru Community Justice Center. Someone from there posted that in the middle of all this, there's a 5-year-old child that lost their life as they were trying to salvage things from their house. And the thing that I find very interesting about such things, or when the government does such things, it's the fact that it goes back to that thing where the governor was saying, Ati, oh, move by yourself before we move you. And then the moving you is literally destroying your things, because people aren't even allowed to get things from their houses. You're seeing destroyed beds. Like this child apparently died trying to just salvage things because their parents weren't home. And the interesting thing is, which it's not even I think at this point we can say it's a fact that this government, one, hates poor people, for sure. Okay, they hate all of us, but I think they have special disdain for poor people. And it's very evident in the way that they handle matters where poor people are involved versus where the middle class are involved and such. For instance, when we talk about people who've built on riverbanks, riparian land and all that, and even road reserved land, it's everywhere. It's not just it's just the poor people in the slums and the low income areas that have done this. No. There's people who've done this in Kileleshwa. Their houses are not being bulldozed down. I'll take you back to the thing that keeps just messing up with my head. The Shell station. It's still standing. Right? So it's and also the fact that those people will be given a proper notice and this one is bulldozers just show up in the morning and they just, that's it. And I'm how exactly are you helping people given everything that's happening right now? How is that helpful? Who does that serve? Because it serves absolutely no one. It helps absolutely no one, right? And even away from from the fact that they're doing it, it's also how they're doing it. Inafanywa kimadharau. You're not allowed to salvage the little things you own. You don't get a chance to even say, okay, acha nichukue hizi mabati niende nijenge nazo. Inafanywa kimadharau. And it's very telling of how the government actually views its people, how the government views the voters and the people in this country and the people who live in low-income areas. There's someone who mentioned this morning that, now what's happening is they come, they destroy, and then at night, because these guys have nowhere to go, they just try to rebuild a small shelter in that same space and spend the night there because it's still freaking raining. I don't understand how our whole government is willing to just expose people like that. I'm like, our government mitigates so much. Like, tell me that's not violence against, like, from a government to its people. Tell me that's not violence. When you send bulldozers, these people, Mukuru, these guys were caught up in the floods. Guys, they haven't recovered. This was 2 weeks ago. And then now you're like, yeah, let's just go bomb everything with these big tractors. Even when they kept saying, go to higher land, where is this higher land? Who's taking us there? Because people keep talking like there's a set space where all you have to do is just pack up your things and go, and there's a house waiting for you with all the things, and there isn't. They haven't set up anything like that. Right now, it's private citizens, it's schools. I won't say churches because, well, there's some churches that are opening their doors to people, but most of the churches are not. I'm just like, hey. But schools have really, really shown up for people and shown out. The schools that are, even if it's not like, if you don't have a place to stay, if you don't have food, they're offering food. They're making like uji and giving people lunch. And if you don't have a place to sleep, they're like, you can come camp here. If you can't make it home because the roads are flooded, you can come sleep here. We'll figure it out in the morning. Schools are doing that. Schools that are, not even government schools, FYI. Not the public ones. No. It's private entities. So now the question becomes, what exactly is the government trying to achieve with this? Because I don't understand what they're trying to achieve. I don't understand who they're trying to serve because they're not serving those people. You're not helping them. The situation you're putting them in is just as bad as the situation of the floods. It's not better. It's just as bad. Let's just have a look at the papers. I haven't really gone through the papers that much this morning. I've told you I didn't even have a weekend. But the story that has caught my eye, the Standard has, this caught my eye because it involves someone I know. There's in the health and science section of the Standard today, they spoke to a friend of mine, and we sort of do very similar work. Her name is Abby, and she was talking about getting her tubes tied, and she's done like a whole story, and they're talking about like the myths, what the procedures involve, and it's basically her story on why she chose permanent contraception. So that's like in the middle of, literally that's the middle of the paper on the Standard. And I had seen a story, there's a story of course about the extension of school closure, which is interesting. Because now it's like, those guys were like, oh, we're going to give people ways in which they're supposed to. The Ministry of Education was like, oh, here's a guideline. And then the president was like, no, we will wait for until whenever. So we don't know when whenever is. But like, there's a lot of stories about the government's poor response to the flooding and the rains. There's still the story of the doctors being on strike. And so that's like in the Standard. And I haven't really looked through the papers today like that well. I was just like, however, there's one story still in the Standard that was touching on Labor Day. And it mentions that laborers are no longer excited about Labor Day because it used to be a holiday where people would come receive good news about like, wages, like how are you guys going to get paid? Are they adding new whatever, stuff like that? But of late, I don't think that's what's been happening. I personally, as Muthoni, I do have issues with a lot of some days that we don't mind the holiday, like a day to stay home, yes. But the things that are celebrated in those days, sometimes it can be a bit iffy, especially because it's like people are expected to, you get like a day off on one day where you get to celebrate and give this thing of utter, it's like, oh, now it's very important when we care about it and everyone talks about it. And then for the other 364 days, you do the exact opposite of all the things you celebrated on that one day. That's usually my problem with the day of this and the day of that and the day of this for most of the things, okay? But anyway, that is just me as Muthoni. Inaweza kuwa tu pia ni juu employment and we've never been together like that. So maybe I also don't see the other perks that come with it. But because for me, like, I still don't understand how Atuoli is in charge of Kotu. He's the only person who's been in charge of Kotu since I have known myself. Since I've had my own thoughts and experiences and everything in between. It's weird. I find it very, very weird. We'll listen to Shairi La Upendo by Njiru.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Sijui ni nini iliniita kwako, umenishika moyoni, sasa mimi ni wako. Niliteguka nikakuangukia, sikuamini bahati yangu. Wewe ulilinda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ulilinda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, ntawacha kuwapo ukiniwacha mimi siwezi ishi bila moyo wangu. Nimeteguka, nimekuangukia, siamini bahati yangu. Wewe linda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, linda moyo wangu, ewe mpenzi wangu, tutaishi pamoja kupitia yote, kila siku hadithi nitateguka, nitakuangukia, sitaamini bahati yangu. Wewe ulinde moyo wangu,
hope you forget me, utanisahau. Sikumbuke anything that I was about. And if it gets tempting, utake kuni text, please. I hope your ego acts out. I hope you will hate me, angalau. Na kama huwezi, tell your friends it's allowed. No need to defend me, nishakuwa ex, please. Let your inner voice speak out. You need to let up and breathe. Stop holding it in. All that pain is hurting you. I know how you are. You hurt inside and pretend that everything is cool. If it ends in tears, it was beautiful. I'm sorry it hurts, I'll miss you too. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. Onaye wendo mwaki, wito onaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. All the memories umekusanya, the ones in your head zinazokudanganya ati umechoma bet. Trust me, the best is yet to come. Si uongo, yote vizuri huisha. I know you know, your heart was never mine, ulikuwa umenilone. Kima umivu, trust me, you are not alone. But I am a lost case, so let's focus on you. You need to let up and breathe. Stop holding it in. All that pain is hurting you. I know how you are. You hurt inside and pretend that everything is cool. Onaye wendo mwaki, wito onaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. Onaye wendo mwaki, wito onaye wendo mwaki. Moyo ni jiko, mapenzi ni makaa. Ulikuwa moto na mimi mafutata. I hope you forget me, utanisahau. Sikumbuke anything that I was about. And if it gets tempting, utake kuni text, please. Don't.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Sema having boundaries on 1,010 levels. That's what that song is about. Ati if you get tempted to text me, don't. As in, how rude. How rude. But anyway, it's like I think it's like a proper breakup song. Yeah, and I know a lot of breakup music. Back to the papers. I have just before we get into the papers, I had a fun fact. Look, I even forgot. It's a fun fact that it's a discovery that I just made. I don't know if everyone knows this, but it's about Tuku Kantu, the artist we just listened to, with the song Wendo Mwaki. He's one half of the Vijana Barubaru duo. It was such an interesting discovery. I discovered this on Friday when I watched them perform on stage. And I was like, wait, this person looks sort of familiar. And then I went to tag them on a post on Instagram. And then I look for their page and I see, that's why it's Tuku Kantu. So yeah, that was an interesting discovery. So when you hear the Vijana Baru Baru, one of the persons singing is Tuku Kantu. That was the message. I have come across a story, but still in the Standard. I think whenever I look at this, I gravitate a lot towards like the health and science section for some random reason, but it's because that's where they touch on things that affect us. There is sport, and the other ones is news. That also affects us, but they don't like center women in the news like that. it is what it is. But there's a story that actually says that there's a rise in gender-based violence among people with disabilities. So there's a whole story on this. It's a feature story in the health and science section of the Standard on page 7. And I was like, oh, dang. That was my first reaction when I saw that. I was like, wow. So it says that there's a recently released policy brief that pulled back the veil on the threat of gender-based violence for persons who face systemic barriers that exacerbate their vulnerabilities. So you can check out the story. I didn't know that because I have questions. I'm curious. I think I would like to also like just see what their research actually like caught on to. Because I was like, oh wow, you'd expect. Because my question is like, is the violence coming from their partners? Is it also them, like the people? Because it's like they are. Because of course they're already a vulnerable group of people. So I'm like, wow, that's so. Yeah, we still need to talk about gender-based violence because it's still happening, which makes no sense. But yeah, I think that's like the last thing that I've checked. I didn't even check the sports today. You know, sometimes I actually go to the sports and get shocked. I don't get shocked that women play sports. No, I get shocked that I actually know nothing about sports, despite the fact that there's like a lot of women in sports. But I think it's because I personally don't have an interest in sports per se. The one sport I ever played, and it's because it was mandatory to choose a sport in our school. I played badminton, and the options were between table tennis and badminton. And I was like, I tried the table tennis thing, and I was like, we just stay in like one sport. I'm not liking that a lot. Maybe I should have picked that one because you're just staying in one sport. But then when I played badminton, I kind of enjoyed it, and I actually got gifted a badminton set last week by my friends. So I don't know if like they're sending me a message. Someone told me maybe your partner is hiding somewhere in like a sports club, but you don't go. So your person might be hiding huko. And I was like, if they're huko, are they even my person? Questions to be answered. We're going to listen to Loverman. This is the acoustic version by Brandy and Ethan. This is a Brandy Minor Stan show. If you didn't know, now you know. You know, like that's how you know I used to be a poet. I can rhyme. Using the same exact word. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, that is lazy poetry. But yeah, let's listen to Loverman, and then we can come back and I tell you about my weekend. I had a really dope one, and then we see what's up. We see if this weather is it for us or it is not.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Give us a reason to love and to hold, to kiss and to cuddle. I know we've been on a very rough road. I know you will never leave me alone. Baby, take your time, take it easy. I don't want to lose the memories again. Make me see that you can fight now where the head you. Man's killer, sick cooking and jelly.
So don't you know that I will ride with you? Pick a fight, baby, count that I will side with you, side with you. Give you the loving that you're starving for. And I'll say yes, you'll love him and 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 for your love, you know ni shajituma. These other boys fell in love with the woman. This is real. What we have, this is baby. So real, I will get ni much easy. This is real. Oh, what we have, me and you. It's real, how engine ni much easy. ni machizi.
This is real, how wengine ni machizi, how wengine ni machizi, ni machizi.
And I'll stay as your lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me. For your love, for you know nishajituma. These are the ones fell in love with you, ma. Lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me, lover, me. You really know that I wanna be yours.
Oh, man, no. Hey, Mr. Lover, man. Lover, 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 man.
I'll be your lover, man. Oh.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
So, like I said, that was Loverman by Brandy Minor, and Ethan Music. I was telling the producer, I'm like, namwambia mimi ni lover girl, alafu akaniuliza wapi. Imagine the disrespect. These people don't respect me, and it shows. Me, by the way, I am a lover girl. Listen, hata mnisikia nimesema nini? It's the truth of the matter. You just have to experience it for yourself. But it's also because I know how to find really, really good music, and it just so happens that like a lot of good music is about love. So pia ilikuwa hii weather tu ilikuwa inani-inspire. It was not me, it was the weather. The weather was just like, listen, this weather, like it's for doing nothing. It's for staying in bed and doing nothing. Just anyway, in the words of Fena Sinabe. So this past weekend I have been a busy bee way. On Friday, I told you about my experience when I went for Costa Ojwang's show that happened on Thursday. And then on Friday, Polycarp of Sauti Soul, aka Fancy Fingers, had put together a concert, an event, a show that featured a couple of people. One of them, or two of them, were Vijana Barubaru. We had Ben Soul, we had Ochiko, and I actually got to listen to Ochiko, who you'll be listening to later on in the show. I got a chance to listen to him live for the first time, so that was quite interesting. It was interesting also because he played that song Slowly. It's like one of my fave songs by him, and like it was like a completely different rendition of it, and it was quite interesting because it had like a very vibey let's dance type of feel. Also, my going there ended up becoming a blind date. That was also very interesting. I was not given a brief. I was just told you're going with this person. I was like, okay, sure. But I ended up having a really good time. Bumped into a bunch of people that I know. I think I've said this. I know too many people. Sometimes like when I'm outside and I'm like, wow, I know a lot of people. Okay, no, I know a lot of creatives. Let's say that. So, and sometimes the spaces you'll find these people would be, in musical concerts and such. So it was a good time on Friday. Let me tell you, I've been risking it all, to be outside. Whoa. Tanimaliza. This is how I will go, being outside at this rate. Because on Thursday night, I had trouble getting home because there was an Uber guy. When we got to, there's this section of our road that had flooded. And he looked at that maji and was like, hey, mimi sipiti. And I had to wake up my Buddha guy at midnight. And instead of going home early like a good girl on Friday at 3 a.m., there I was on my way home. At least like the Uber guy for that day was a G. He was like, it doesn't seem like a lot of water. Let's go. And we went. And then where was I on Saturday night? Outside. I was jana nilifika nyumbani before 8 p.m. and I was very proud of myself. I was like, look at me being a good Christian girl. Ow. So yeah, I had a really fun weekend. It was a weekend full of music, good vibes, laughter. Yeah, although yesterday I went for it was a sort of a panel and a discussion thing where guys were just trying to talk about how they feel like the UN can better serve the Kenyan people. It was very interesting because also I felt like sometimes when people do stuff like this, like you're putting the burden on the people, and then like people will come up with ideas and do all the things, but where's the execution? How does it go? Does someone actually do the thing or not? Like, I don't know. It feels sometimes I feel like we put too much weight on certain things, which, it's fine. It happens. It is all right. But it was an interesting thing because I saw a lot of young people coming up with ideas on things that could be done better. And it sucks that even like our government doesn't exactly involve people in trying to find solutions, because we always start with, okay, these are the problems. And it's easier to get, if you want to know what the problems are, talk to the people who go through the problems, because they know what the problems are. And they might be able to help you get solutions as well, because they have probably thought about it a lot more than you have. And now that's what like I witnessed yesterday, because it was like, oh, I think if we do this, that could help this, because people are coming up with ideas. So it was a very interesting thing, an interesting panel type event thingy. But yeah, so that was my weekend. My weekend was, I'd love to say my weekend was chill. I stayed at home, did nothing. That's not what happened. But we can hope that the next weekend might be the one. We can hope, fingers crossed, that this coming weekend is the one I will be at home like the proper Christian girl I pretend to be. And please, I hope Christians don't feel bad when I say that. Because I usually say Christians. I say I'm a Christian girl. Yeah. It's a non-existent thing. That's why it's said like that. Don't feel offended. It's not about you. It's me. You know that song, Taylor Swift, where it say, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. Yeah, so anytime you hear me say Christian girl, just ring that melody in your head, and it's like, yeah, it's her. She's the problem. I'm going to see you on the other side of one of these amazing songs that we're about to play. I think it's gonna be, we'll see. We'll be talking about regulation in terms of substandard products in the African market, especially in Kenya. And we're going to focus on period products as well as like beauty products that find themselves in our market, and how our bodies don't really do much to regulate and keep us safe. And what's the cost of allowing these products into the country and not regulating them. So that's what we're going to be discussing in today's show. Today's second half of the show. Ni baridi, by the way. It's cold out here, man. It's cold.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I got you morning in the morning, living in the moment. It's all about the small things. You're my secret lover, secret lover. I know when you're calling, it's about enjoyment. I enjoy it more when you're my secret lover, secret lover. Middle of the night, I hear you calling, heat rising and I can't ignore it. Body on mine, I'm fantasizing. What you have done, what have you done to me? Craving your body like I never ever. Just up and diamonds, I'm shining for ya. Riding the wave like I'm riding on ya. Tell me what you can do, what you do to me. Tell me how you like it, let me control your hands on my waist, just follow the leader. Can be a secret, tell me you can keep it. I promise if you stay. I got you morning in the morning, living in the moment. It's all about the small things. You're my secret lover, secret lover. I know when you're calling, it's about enjoyment. I enjoy it more when you're my secret lover, secret lover.
Make a link, wink a wink. So many things between you and me. No feelings, no strings. You're so sweet and tender. Sote tuko na agenda. Si unajua vile naipendanga. I got you
Morning in the morning, living in the moment. It's all about the small things. You're my secret lover, secret lover. I know when you're calling, it's about enjoyment. I enjoy it more when you're my secret lover, secret lover.
so sweet and tender. Uko na agenda. Na ninapenda, penda.
So sweet and tender, gonna agenda. Unani, unanipenda.
I was looking for affection, then I ran into perfection. It was never my intention to fall in love again. I remember it so clearly. Akiniona nikipanic. I was never made for parties. She went ahead and held my hand. She said, life's too short, better shoot your shot. Kahukore basi kunywa shot. Nakako sober then even better. Najua behutani hepa. She said, life's too short, so I'll shoot my shot. Yeah, I believe I was made for more. If I don't tell you, then I'll never know. I would rather tell you now.
I was looking for attention when she came in my direction. I wasn't looking for a good time, no. I was tired of the drama till she opened her mouth. She spoke to my soul. She broke all the walls I'd built inside. Amenifanya nipende tena. VP siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena. VP siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena. VP siwezi sema.
Ended up talking about our observations, judging drunken people, vile tunapanga interventions. Machache nilisema, but I loved our conversation. Ilikuwa polite na bila ta pressure. Aura yake ni kama ya malaika. Nadhani sijatosheka, roho, moyo, mwili zote we imeenda.
Amenifanya nipende tena. Vipi siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena. Vipi siwezi sema. Hey girl, don't run away with my heart. Don't make me go again from the start.
maisha ni panda shuka, nimetembea mi nimezunguka, na hii mto siwezi vuka bila we, nasinzia nikiwaza kila day. Kwanza bila pesa na kuanga na pressure, juu siwezi kutesa, lakini madam asoli napigana, vita nimepigana, miezi zinashikana. Hey. Amenifanya nipende tena, vipi siwezi sema. Amenifanya nipende tena, vipi siwezi sema.
Don't even know. Don't even know. Don't even know. Something about you. Circling down. Don't even know. Looking for someone to get me out the door. You got me dumbfound. Need a bit more than telling me how we gon' be affected. Oh, there's something about the way you make me feel. Something about the way you made me kneel. Something about the way that we could be messing us up. Nearly got me waiting outside. You got me going. I don't even know your last name, but you got me like. See, I don't even know your last name, but you got me like. You better go sign a waiver, 'cause I'ma violate you and then more. Telling me how we gon' bang bang, then get the ring more. Doing less talking. So many try to get inside my feels, but nobody got it, but better sign that deal. Nearly got me sticking around. Maybe there's something about you, about something about the way you make me feel. Something about the way you made me kneel. Something about the way that we could be messing us up. Nearly got me waiting outside. You got me going. I don't even know your last name, but you got me like. I don't even know your last name, but you got me like. I don't even know your last name, but you got me like.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Nikita Kering with Last Name. And before that, we were listening to one of my favorite songs, For Lovers, which is by Hornsphere, Motoria, Ali, and Nui. And before that, it was Ben Soul teaming up with Muthaka to give you Secret Lover. Yay! Now it's time to get into the second half of the show where all the madness happens. Today, we are discussing the substandard products that are in the African market and what their cost is, especially to the people who use them. The reason I wanted to have this conversation was because this morning, I actually saw someone complaining about a specific brand of pads in the country that's been doing so well. And they were like, whatever changes you have been making, stop, because now those pads are burning and making us itchy and stuff. So it was like the ones they had before were working very well. And then now suddenly the thing has changed. Formula, whatever it is that they've done, there's something that has changed that now suddenly the products are becoming harmful. I think there's a time, I think it was like last, I don't know which month it was, but in one of the shows, we mentioned that the hair relaxers that are used in Africa contain products that have been banned in Europe and the US, but the ones that are shipped here by those very same brands that make those very products there have those substances. So my question becomes, do we just take anything for the sake of... Because these guys would use those things, because I know apparently they use certain substances because they cut cost, they make the product cheaper and things like that. But I'm like, they don't communicate these things, right? You find out after the fact, after these things are tested, and then people see what's happening to who, stuff is happening, people are getting sick, And then after the research is done, we're like, oh, common denominator, these products. And then they're like, oh yeah, you guys didn't know they actually have substances that are banned in this country and this country. And it's often European countries and the US, right? So my question is, one, why does everyone think that it's okay to dump their substandard products on Africans? Two, is the communication that Africans don't deserve good things. We don't deserve properly made products. Is that the communication that we're getting here? Three, what can we do about it? Because does that mean we either have to, one, start like producing our own products for ourselves, or are we going to use the bodies that are set out to regulate these things to make sure that the products that come here are also just as good as what they sell everywhere else? There was a campaign that was called My Always Experience. I don't remember how many years ago, but it's been an ongoing thing for a while. And it was people complaining about the quality of the pads that they were selling here, and especially compared to other countries. Back to the thing, countries in Europe, countries in the US, the US, the Western world, basically. And the comparison was like, wow, like what we get is really, really terrible. And the worst thing about this was that when this brand was called out, instead of actually just addressing the issue and saying, okay, we will work on that and, taking those things off the market, they did a lot of shady things. The first thing they did is they took influencers on a brand trip to promote those very products that people are complaining about. And I remember when those influencers were being called out, because people would go to the comment section and say, this is very wrong of you, because women are actually complaining about how these products are affecting them. And then all these people had like a very PR statement type response that they were all sharing, which was like just all of them saying, I've been using this product since I was a teenager and that has never happened to me. Okay, and so? And you see, I was talking to my producer today in studio, and I was telling her about how my period is like just an inconvenience in my life. I don't feel the pain. I don't get the cramps. I don't get like nothing. It's usually like, oh yeah. And even now, if anything, the inconvenience lasts longer. Before, it used to last 3 days, and it's like in and out. Okay. And then someone else, the experience is I can't get out of bed. So imagine me coming and invalidating someone else's experience because I so happen to also get periods, but they're not the same. So now that means what? There's no problem there. There's no cramps because now because I don't get, now does that mean other people don't get? So it was a very sad thing to see. And I'm grateful that people called them out as well. And then the second thing they did is that they launched a new product that was more expensive. And then they were like, okay, fine. If you don't like the other cheap ones, maybe buy the one that's a bit more expensive. And they were like, oh, this one is pure cotton and and all that. And again, it was very tone deaf because people are complaining about the products that they were able to afford, because there's also that aspect of affordability, of which, when you think about it, I don't understand why people have to buy pads to begin with, because it's something that, like, literally we don't have any control over our periods. None whatsoever. We don't have, it's like it happens every month for about a week, and it's literally every month, unless now you have like those irregular ones. So that's a conversation for a whole other day. I still don't understand why we have to spend money on that. But governments are out here giving free condoms and stuff. You don't have to have sex. It's not a okay. So priorities. There was a story that came out, I think it was late last year. It was in regards to KEBS, or early this year. It was in regards to KEBS actually outrightly saying they don't test products. They believe whatever the manufacturer or the whatever says. Like there's a lot of products that are in our markets that are not tested to confirm that they're good for human consumption or use or whatever, or if they have any banned substances or such. And it was just like, huh? What do you mean? Because isn't that the whole job of that whole entire institution? Your job is to say, this one passes, this one does not. We give this one a thumbs up, we give this one a thumbs down. And then now, as we know, oh, this one has been tested, it's good for us, we can use it. But the funniest thing is that in this country, for us to find out that there's something wrong with someone, an investigative journalist has to do the work. And then that's when we're told, hey, that's when we discover sijui nyama zinaekwa nini. Remember that story about the meat and the chemicals they were using to make the meat look redder and preserve it so it doesn't start turning black. And then you're over there eating nyama and you're wondering why it tastes funny. Maybe that's the reason why hata sijuangi difference ya types of nyama. Labda nilikula a lot of those chemicals and I killed the receptors in my tongue. It's like, truthfully, I don't know how to tell the difference between like beef and like goat meat and such. Okay, with chicken and fish, those ones you can. It's easy. Like the rest, sijuangi the difference, to be honest. So when a whole body comes out and they're just like, oh, mlikuwa mnafikiranga tunatest hizi vitu, it's very concerning. Because one, it gives the liberty of this brands, and most of them are actually like global brands, to be able to cut corners with the products that they send here. Because they're like, oh, if it's cheaper to not include this, if it's cheaper to do that, then that's exactly what they're going to do. Because at the end of the day, they just know, ikikuja huku, no one cares. Secondly, there's the aspect of corruption. And it's like, even if it comes here and it's tested and it has a problem, so we'll just, I don't know, just pay somebody. And then it just keeps flowing in. You keep someone's pocket full and you keep your own pocket full. So sometimes I wonder, like, who's meant to protect us? Because me sina lab kwangu. You know, like I can't buy a product and then before I use it, I'm like, let me go test and confirm that it doesn't have sijui mercury or lead, or how do I even know how to? I know I attended a chemistry class, but the most fascinating thing was just lighting fires under Bunsen burners. That was the most fascinating thing. I remember nothing. Let me tell you, when I was in school, I knew the life I was going to lead had nothing to do with those things. I was very focused on just exploring my creative exploits. So the fascinating things in chemistry class ilikuwa, oh, tunachoma vitu, let's do it. That's fun. Oh, this one is changing color. I think that was titration ilikuanga gani ndio ya kuchange color. I don't even remember which one it was, but you get my point. It shouldn't be put on the people using the product to find out what's wrong with the product after the fact. Because then the only way you find out that the product has a problem is when it reacts really badly with you and then you end up in a hospital and now suddenly it's like, oh, did you know it has this? That's what you're reacting to. So who is keeping these people accountable? Because someone has to. But now the person who's supposed to keep the brands, the companies, the manufacturers accountable is also like, ameinua tu mikono ako like, ako tu. And the funniest thing is whenever someone wants to like if you want to do your homemade products, I know like someone who was trying to do tea, and it was like they're farmed here, they can show the process of everything they've done. So they were trying to do infused teas. So they were trying to, actually, no, it was stuff that's infused with rosemary. So they were trying to do like the oils and stuff. And the process of trying to even get approvals was insane. And there's even like a specific, I don't remember the name of the place, where if you're trying to do like cold pressed oils or something, they even specify a certain type of machine you're allowed to use. If you use like a different type of machine, they're like, this one does not meet the standard. So I'm like, so why is it that we set high standards for ourselves and the people who are doing the manufacturing locally, but when it comes to global international brands, we're just like, hey, you have the leeway to do whatever the hell you want because who cares? That's a problem in itself. We are going to listen to another one of my favorite songs. I love this song because it has Kino slander. Have I ever lived in Kino? No. but we all love that we can slander Kino? Absolutely yes.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Hey, hello. You look familiar, have I made up with you before? Let's just be serious, kabla uanze tukunipo. Nionyeshe Insta labda nitakukumbuka hivyo. Oh, hey, hello. Sikuamini lakini ni kama nimeona ghost. Miezi mbili ndio maana siwezi pita Kino. Na tangu lini ukaanza kuwa na story mob? Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there. Don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there. Overlaid, it's like a different kind of weather. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there. Don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there. Overlaid, it's like a different kind of weather. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Go fit, Allah. Go fresh, Allah. Lakin, bana. Din west, bana. Go fit, Allah. Go fresh, Allah. Lakin, bana. Din west, bana.
Sijapenda in a long time. I get excited when I see you smile. Every time I close my eyes, now na picha za milele. I know you're scared and it's alright. Expectations kill the vibe. I don't wanna rush, baby, don't try no way. Let's fall in love, but slowly, slowly. Learn to love me. Slowly, let's fall in love, but slowly. It's not so easy for me kujua unapenda na kucheza chini. what we could be. I wanna rush into your arms. I wanna lay right next to you. I wanna be the love of your life. So let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly. Slowly. Learn to love me. Slowly. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly, slowly. Let's fall in love. Learn to love me slowly. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love, but slowly.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Ochiko with Slowly, who, like I mentioned earlier, I got to watch perform for the first time last week on Friday, and I quite enjoyed his performance. That was it was interesting, and he actually performed this particular song, but it was a completely different rendition. That was vibey, and we're outside and in it. But I really, really do like this particular song as it is. They were when you're too equal. We are discussing the substandard products that end up in our markets and what the cost of that is. So, in this case, we're discussing mostly like things that are used in the beauty industry. So, we have the mafutas, the hair products, there's the period products as well. And I know there's also like counterfeit medicine that makes its way into our markets. And how I know this definitely like affects women, for instance, is I remember there was a time there was people were being told to be careful that we had a lot of fake P2 in our market. And a lot of people would end up buying, you go buy the, for those who don't know, P2 is the morning after pill, basically. So people would take the morning after pill and then they're like, oh, I don't know what happened, da, 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 all those things. So that was like a lot of that still in the market. Then there's also a time where there was even like paracetamol that was counterfeit. So my question is, these things come at like a really high cost if you think about it, because forget like even like the morning after pill. I'm assuming I go to a hospital and then they prescribe medicine for me and then I buy because I'm trusting that everything in our market is supposed to be legit. And then I'm like, oh, Siponi or something is happening. And then maybe, because also the problem with counterfeit products is you actually don't know what's in the product. So we already have the brands sending us their worst products or the products that have substances that are not good for us. That's already one. And then now there's counterfeit products in the market as well, where now someone else is like, because if no one's regulating the global brands or whatever, people are mixing things in their houses and then just selling them. There's products that come from different countries, I don't know which ones, and they're sold here. And everyone knows that these products have problems and they have issues. Because I remember like, there's that thing, I don't remember the name. It has an orange bottle and everyone was talking about it. It's like a bleaching lotion. And I remember one time, it has Sijui or something. I remember one time going to my mom's house and finding like it was a new tab of that thing. And I freaked out immediately. And the funny thing is, I had noticed like something was happening to my mom's skin, like she was getting some dots. And I asked her what was happening. I just thought Nijua, by the way. I thought it's just sunburn and the likes. And then I see that lotion, and the person who sold it to her didn't disclose that it was a bleaching agent. My mom bought it just thinking it's a lotion. So you see, you're now putting people's lives at risk. So I was like, no, throw it out. Go buy the usual ones in your mezoea. Because alikuwa like, I was told it's a very nice one. Sijui, iko na nini. Like, because the person who was selling it to her was just trying to sell a product. And her, she was like, let's support because I'm going to need lotion anyway. Sinanunuanga. So she just buys. So now I'm imagining how many people have fallen into a trap where they are just buying a lotion, not knowing it has all this other underlying thingies under it or in it. You don't know the products that are in it. You're trusting that if this thing is being sold in the market, someone has done their due diligence, someone has done the work to make sure that it should be sold in our market. So we're putting lives at risk. There's that. There's also the fact that to the person using it, I'm imagining, because some of these products, you hear they have substances that cause cancer. We now are raising, are you going to, what's going to happen to all these people who end up using these products and they end up getting sick? Do we even have institutions that are going to help us? Do we even have, right now, doctors are on strike. So there's the health complications that also come with using these products. I remember someone talking about like how certain period products like really caused them to be sick that they ended up being admitted in a hospital because of, can you imagine something so simple as like a pad or a tampon causing you to get admitted into a hospital? And this is something that is used every month. As in, I would freak out. Like, kidogo ndako kuniambia tu, let's be free bleeders, tafadhali. When it's that time of the month, I'll just sit in my house and just, whatever it is. Because some of these things, if the people who are supposed to be taking care of us are not doing it, there's only so much we can do. And the other thing is, I'm going to link this back to like the fact that we had like fake and counterfeit alcohol in the market, right? And people are now telling you how to check the bottle to see if it's counterfeit or not. And then you realize these people are using legit bottles. So you can't, like, it's not at a whole bottle that they've come up with. No. We're encouraged to do recycling. So you're like, I'm a good environment caring person, so let's recycle. So we take back the bottles and stuff. And then these same people go take those bottles and then refill them with whatever and do all the things. And they even have those same stickers. And that's why it's so hard for you to even know when you're drinking something and it's counterfeit. It's very hard because imagine every single time. Also, why is that our work? Why should I have to be looking at like ati naanza kuangalia ati naguzaguza ati ifai kukuwa na nini pande ya chini, inafaa kuwa sijui barcode yake iko aje? Why should I do that? If I'm walking into a store to buy something, someone should have already confirmed that the things in that store are legit. So si ati ni mimi nianze kukuja kuguza ati inafaa kukuwa na shimo 3 si 6, sijui inafaa kuwa na, surely who has the time? We need to do better. And I need to know, how do we hold guys like KEBS and, the national whatever, as those boards, how do we hold them accountable? Because it should be like, if anyone suffers, what can you do? Like, what is it? Like the way in the US, they have like those class action suits and stuff. Maybe that's what we need to start doing. Do that with the companies. Do that with these bodies. And then, because if the oversight committee is not oversighting, that's how these things end up in our shelves. They end up in our homes. And you're there just thinking, I'm just buying lotion, not knowing that the lotion you're buying has been laced with bleaching products. If I want to bleach my skin, it should be my choice. It shouldn't be because someone duped me into it. Like, if I do it, when you're doing it, you can do it knowing all the complications that come with it, the complications that come with the fact that you just bought a random lotion off the freaking street. You should know, like, you're signing yourself up for that. But then if you're going to a mother who's just over there thinking, I'm just supporting this person who's trying to just do their business, It's actually not fair. The cost to the people becomes a lot higher, because what happens now is if these products are being linked to things like cancer, that's what we're just going to have more people getting cancer. And then now what happens? Then you go to the whatever, and then there's counterfeit meds. Surely. There was a Protection Act thing that was proposed last year that we can talk about when we come back after we listen. I was going to say after we listen to this message from our advertisers. Okay, after we listen to Heaven by Sage.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Your love. No, I would follow you anywhere. Take a train, plane, car, again, baby, and I'm gonna find you there. Cause you took my heart completely, captivate my mind. You read me, I've known nothing but sunny days since the day when you received me. God really knows how to make a situation turn around. May the sun rise high and I saw it, even with my face turned down. So many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, and I was fed up. But you made me keep my head up, and I just cannot deny how many times you see me try, and you still hold my hand and you teach me to fly. Oh, your love, it feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause your love, it feels like heaven, heaven, heaven. Ooh. Thought that I was at the end, but truth was I was just beginning. Thought that I had lost it all, but in the sense I had found something. I wouldn't trade for the universe. Do it all again, I hit it first. So few people ever make something last. They look for what they lust for, and it runs out so fast. Made a lot of mistakes, but you look past it all. Don't expect perfection from me, proud even when I fall. But so many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, but you were never. I guess your mama taught you better. No need to put me down so you can feel high. 'Cause together, my love, we can touch the sky. It feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, baby, your love, it feels like heaven, heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause so many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, and I was fed up. But you made me keep my head up, and I just cannot deny. Many times you see me try, and you still hold my hand, and you teach me to fly. But so many men made me feel like I was never good enough for them, but you would never. Guess your mama taught you better. 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 'Cause baby, your love, it feels like the highest heaven, heaven. Ooh, 'cause your love feels like heaven, 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 heaven.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Chemutai Sage with Heaven. We are discussing the substandard products that find their way into our market and what the cost of that is. And apparently the thing about just randomly buying something thinking, oh, look, ni mafuta tu has happened more times than we'd wish to admit. And the thing that I find very interesting is because I know there's a time in the news where I saw guys from Kebs were discussing the fact that they're really trying to catch these people who are selling these bleaching products. And I was like, do you know how easy it is? You just walk, as in, I can catch them for you. Okay, maybe not. But you just walk down River Road. Just walk down River Road. Literally, that's all they have to do. Just send a couple of babes. Let them just walk down River Road with plain, whatever, clothed police or whoever needs to go, whatever. The thing, now why am I doing your job for you? Walk down River Road and you'll hear a bunch of people who just go like, mafuta, those ones, they will take you to the shop because they're the ones who sell those things. When they say, mafuta auntie, they target us as we're just walking. So just get a couple of people. I don't think it's that hard to find the products. Remove the products off the shelves. Let's just start there. 2, the products that are coming in from foreign lands or whatever, can it be like, I feel like there's there should be a formula there should be a formula where if, say, I have listed my products that go in, I have a product, it's a cup of tea that I'm making, and I've listed that it requires 1 tea bag that weighs 50 grams or 25 grams, and then 3 teaspoons that weigh this much, that water that is this much, 250 ml. That should I decide that I want to add the water from 250 ml to 300 ml, I have to actually have that in writing, send it to these people with the product that now has the 300 ml for them to test and confirm. So that way, anytime you're doing, like, as your products are getting on the shelves, everyone knows exactly what goes into those products. Because it's very interesting how sometimes, like, you'll buy a product like 1, 2, 3 times and it's really good. And then randomly, at one point, it just stops doing the thing. It's just, and it's not that thing that, you got used to it. Maybe now it starts breaking you out. Like, there's people who will talk about, say, like, maybe lotions. Let's talk about moisturizers and things that we even use on our hair, where you've been using it, it's been working, and then randomly it just starts making you break out. It's leaving you with boils. It's burning. You're getting like burning sensations, and you're like, what's going on? It's not supposed to do this. It wasn't doing this before. They changed the formulas without telling anyone. And you see, for me, if I look at the back of a bottle and I'm just saying, the one thing I will know, it's when I see aqua, I know that's water. Then the rest, so you see what they use scientific names. How am I supposed to know that this and this and this constitutes mercury, or this and this and this means they've added portions of something that maybe even I am allergic to, or that might react to me, or that I shouldn't be using to begin with? I wouldn't know. And who has the time? And then what's, if I have to do that work, what's the point of having a body like Kebs? If me, I have to touch the bottle, if I have to look at this, do the red for the counterfeit bottle and the red for the original is not the same. What if I'm colorblind? How will I know the reds? As in, you're putting so much work on the consumer because the regulating bodies are not doing their jobs. You all sit there, you get your salos, and then also, because for me, I would be like, the moment I see a class action suit in the US that has been won by the people against a company that also sells products in my region, the first thing I'm doing is testing those products and confirming they don't have the same thing that they've been accused of doing in the US, in the UK, wherever it is. That would be the first thing I do. Because why is it that people feel like they can dump all their bad things to us? Are we not deserving of good products? Are we not deserving? Because the prices don't change. You will still pay the good monies for having that product. It doesn't change. And it can't be like at if I want proper products by these people, I have to ship them in, surely. Then what's the point of you guys setting up a base in Africa? What's the point of you guys setting up a manufacturing whatnot in Africa? What's the point of you having an office here? If now for me to be able to get the good quality products that you provide, that you claim everyone deserves, I have to again have extra costs of shipping. The cost is too high. The cost that the consumer has to pay, thanks to having substandard products in our market, it's too high. Because people are paying with their health. People are balding out here, losing all their hair. So that's an emotional distress issue, if you ask me, because I'm like, hey, but imagine if I'm attached to my hair like that, and then now suddenly, okay, I can't grow my hair because a product I was using has now done this, and now my skin is burnt and I can no longer grow hair there. And the worst part is, like, even when that happens, the bodies here, they don't do anything. An investigative journalist will come and talk and touch on all these things, and then they'll be like, juzi tu tulikuwa na discuss fertilizer. Just the other day. What's being done right now? Because the first thing should have been getting the fertilizer off the shelves. Has that fertilizer been taken off the shelves? Do we know? Because I'm like, there's systems that have been bypassed by so many people for these things to be there. Are we getting rid of those people? Because they already know what loopholes they exploited the first time to be able to get these products here. Are we getting rid of the people who are allowing for these products to be in the market despite saying, yeah, we are deserving of? Our actions need to match our words, to be honest. Our actions need to match our words. There's a time where, like, I think it was like in 2022, where people were talking about, like, how if you are caught with counterfeit products, you'll be arrested, you'll serve time, there's heavy penalties, and still, I don't think any of that happens. Like, I think we still have a lot of counterfeit products in our market. We have a lot of fake things, and there's, it's one thing when you're doing like things like, oh, it's clothes, it's bags, it's shoes. But when it's stuff that people consume and eat, it's stuff that people use on their skin, the repercussions of that are a lot higher. Because then and also long term, right? Because, yeah, I will buy a fake Nike shoe. It just won't last as long as a genuine one would, right? Or, I don't know, a fake Bata, whatever shoe. It just won't last. It will serve me for a shorter period of time. It won't last as long as, like, say, a genuine shoe would, right? But when it comes to something that's, like, put in your food, there was a time where there was sujui unga that had aflatoxins. And people talked about it. Me, I didn't see any arrests. We never saw any plants getting shut down. Nothing. It's like, oh, when we saw the story about the meat, there were no arrests. So we're just being fed things. And this also plays a role in terms of trust. You can't trust what people give you anymore. You can't trust seeing a KEBS sticker on a product. So what's the point of the sticker? What's the point of KEBS? That's the question. We are going to listen to Quicksand, and then we'll be right back. Oh, yeah, we're in a sinking ship, so this song is very appropriate.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. Shokamo shit, that's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. Oh,
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.
Bleed the same, that you'll never go away, baby. And tell me, baby, tell me, do you wanna do all the things I want you to, even when you're miles away, baby? Ooh. Every time I try to get away, living the moment, every touch like heaven sent you down to reign over me. I'm obsessed, I can't forget the way you loved me.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Where the horn, that's the final thing on that song. Vibes. That was Quicksand by Muthaka, and before that you were listening to Stacey Kamatu with Shokamushi. We were discussing the cost of the substandard products that are sold in the Kenyan market. That is what we're talking about today. We've touched a bit on, well, mostly things that are sold in the beauty industry. I think we can talk a bit more about this. Like, I'm curious to know what the process is. I've once, a long time ago, I had found myself in like a KEBS lab, and the way they walked us through the process of testing things, that all the things they do. Sasa sijui kama sisi tuko na chapo PR ama what the thing was, because hey, yeah, it's a lot. And I think we need to find ways to hold institutions like Akina KEBS accountable, especially when these journalists come and, you know, share their truths about the things that they have found out from their investigations and the discoveries that they make. Then we should see heads rolling immediately that comes out. But it can't just be like, hey, we talk about it on Twitter and then it ends there. Because these things, they have a very, very heavy cost to the lives of the people and the consumers who use them. That was our show today. My name is Muthoni Gitau. This was She Talks on Power Radio. I feel like today the time has just, it may fly by really, really, really fast. But thank you for spending your time with us today. I will see you back here on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Remember, you can also catch up with Wakili from 1 p.m. today on a Sharia Dive. And yes, on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m., catch up with Anne Wanyoike for the Power Morning Drive. Thank you so much. And here's our last song dedicated to this weather, because we dedicate songs to all sorts of things.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Nimetetemeka ya kutosha kujuni kumbatie. Nimejaribu kahawa nikajaribu gauge. Najua ukikuja utafanya disappear. Shida zangu si za dokta, shida zangu si za vodka. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Shida zangu si za dokta, shida zangu si za vodka. Sema leo utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo, tujipambe, pambe. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo, tujipambe. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Natamani lako joto, natamani maso. Nimetetemeka ya kutosha, njoo nikumbatie. Nimejaribu blanketi, moto kwenye fireplace. Najua ukikuja utafanya disappear. Shida zangu si za dokta, I'm a whiskey. Je, nambie utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Shida zangu si za dokta, shida zangu si za vodka. Je, nambie utatoka na mimi nitakungoja. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Ningependa kukuona leo, tujibambe, tujibambe, tujibambe. Sema nijipange, sema nijipange. Uko down, uko ready. Joy to get busy. Uko down, uko ready. Joy to get busy. Uko down, uko ready. Joy to get busy.
Pawa Radio. Tune in and power up.